So I'm going to start this video off with saying racism is a mental illness. I'm going to say it one more time. Racism is a mental illness. It never ceases to amaze me the lengths that certain people will go just because they don't like a certain race. So we've known this for, I think it's been like 3 years now, that we know that Halle Bailey was casted to be the Little Mermaid in the live action. We know Disney's been doing live action movies with all their classics over the last like 5 years or so. And, you know, there was some backlash then. I don't really remember it that much, but the trailer came out, and when I tell you, people were up in arms. And I know it's funny because I said racist, but I have Candace Owens on here, but I don't know, she's kind of over there with them, but I don't know, it got crazy, man. But if you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I do upload every day, Monday through Friday. Leave a like, and let's get into this. So first video we're gonna watch is a YouTube short from Candace Owens talking about the the casting for the new Little Mermaid. Mind you, everyone's opinion that we're looking at today are grown people that should not care about this, but anyway.
Of the new Little Mermaid movie. It makes me chuckle. As you know, nothing can be as it was. It all must be undone and turned backwards and upside down because the progressives just hate everything about society. And if you're like me, you probably thought, well, yay, finally the redheads get something, right? You know, they're the true minority that nobody talks about. Ariel, who had beautiful long red hair, and it was actually one of my favorite movies. I was a big Disney.
Bro, the fact that she started this with everything needs to be, oh, everyone, the progressives, they want to just change everything. Like, that is the narrative I've just heard from like a lot of people. It's just like, we can't keep, things need to stay the way they are. We can't change everything. It's not accurate to the original story and all. It's like, bro, why do you care about the source material of the Little Mermaid? Like, I cannot understand it. I don't get it. Like, I understand it for, like, let's say, and this is an example people always give because people are getting mad at Lord of the Rings because there's black elves and apparently elves can't be black or whatever, or people was mad that Starfire was black in the Titan show, even though Starfire is literally an orange alien, and like, who cares? And it's like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe people that say that, oh, these things need to be, accurate to the book, or else unless it changes the actual story, I don't understand it. Like, people say, oh, if a white person was Black Panther, you guys will have a problem with it. It's like, yeah, because he's literally, like, first of all, the Black Panther is very symbolic for black people's struggle in the 60s. And then second of all, he's literally a African king. Like, that is part of who he is. Same thing with like Luke Cage. All that stuff is important to their story. The Little Mermaid, bro, like,
Disney child, Disney baby. Of course, nothing can be left as it is, and they are now producing a mermaid movie in which Ariel is black. Now, are there black people with red hair? Sure, yes. It's not common for black
so it's
people
the
to have
hair that
it
she has a
is,
problem
fact,
with. It's the red
Nordic
hair
trait, if you will,
okay.
Irish, really, if you want to talk about specificities. But they're going to make her black because everything must be black. That's the answer. What do you think of?
So, I feel like they're trolling, bro. Like, I literally feel like these people, like, people that have a platform like this, like, I know this is going to get a bunch of clicks, a bunch of views. They may feel like this, but it's like, they just, like, it's too easy. Like, it's easy money to just talk like that. She talking about the fact that she has red hair and black people don't really have red hair. You know what else black people and white people don't have? Fins. And they don't swim in the ocean, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so this is the video I seen someone else react to. Just look at this guy's face already. Like, you know he's mad already. He got the hat, the beard, the disgust on it. He's ready to go.
A couple days ago, Disney put out the first trailer for The Little Mermaid, and as you can see here, it is getting absolutely obliterated with one.
Bro, he he came in so hot. Pause. Like he literally was just like, Disney put out the video for it, and you can see it's getting obliterated by it. Like, fam, calm down.
3 billion downvotes compared to 384,000 upvotes.
That is a lot.
It's very apparent that fans are not happy with this trailer or anything really that Disney is putting out at the moment when it comes to these live action remakes. And I just want to make a comparison to another thing that is coming out soon from Disney, which is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And as you can see here, the ratios on these two are very much different. Like, they're almost completely flipped. This has 1.4 million upvotes compared to 140,000 downvotes. Meanwhile, this ratio on The Little Mermaid continues to widen. The gap on this is continuing to grow as this number, the downvote number, continues to climb at a very rapid rate. And a lot of this just stems from more and more people waking up to seeing the game.
Or it's from a lot of y'all with nothing better to do and people part of your community just going off and going on this video and clicking the downvote. Like, it's not everybody's just waking up. It's just a grand awakening. Everyone's mind is finally open. The third eye is just wide open to finally see what's going on in Hollywood and what Disney's doing. That's exactly what's happening.
Game that Disney is playing here and just how terrible of a company Disney actually is, as they continue to force a lot of very terrible political agendas and awful worldviews into their shows and movies. And when they get called out for that being the main focus instead of actually telling a good story, then they're like, oh, the reason why you don't like...
I don't get when did race become I understand race can be a political thing as far as like using it to your advantage or something, but they're saying like, oh, they're casting her as black to give a political message. What is what is it? What is the message?
Like this movie is because we have a black person in it, when really that isn't what the actual problem is. And that's really not what the problem is that a lot of fans have. And a lot of fans are being called out for, disliking this trailer and everything else.
And I want to know who are these fans? Who are these fans? Because there's no way little kids that are actually going to want to see this are going out of their way to downvote this video. So that means that grown people like you are going out of your way, especially since when you went on the video, it's showing highlighted as the thumbs down, meaning you clicked on it. It's like, did you grow up on a Little Mermaid or something? Is that near and dear to your heart that you need this to be exactly how it was when you grew up? Like, what are you talking about? This is not the fans. This is just people being mad.
We don't apparently know much about it, but once again, I was right, because we actually got this interview that we're going to be taking a look at here with Hal Bailey, where she talks about what this film is focused on. What are the important things that this film is focused on? And yes, very much so, just in the way of a lot of the other terrible things that Disney continues to put out, especially with these live-action remakes, it isn't focused on actually telling the story of The Little Mermaid that we know. It's very much so just going in the same way of things like Rings of Power, where it's focused on taking something that we already knew, a story that we were already familiar with, and then completely replacing it with some sort of hijacked version of that story that is through a modern woke lens. So,
but see, my problem with that is they're saying that, oh, because you cast a black person or a woman or a female lead or a gay, whatever the heck, that they're not focused on the story at all. It's just, we're only doing this for political reasons. And it's like, two things can be true. Like, you can have a statement like, it is art. Movies, TV, music, entertainment as a whole, video games, it's art. It's someone sat down, a team of people, they had a vision, they wanted to tell a narrative and a story, and they made something come to light, and they tell it the way they want to. Whatever stories they want to ingrain in it, whether you want to call it an agenda or whatever, it's like, that's up to them. It's not like that's the only reason they do these things. I don't know. You're just saying that, oh, they're not focused on the story. They got, I promise, if I go to see the Little Mermaid and that story isn't Academy Award winning, I'm gonna like, calm down, bro.
Like I said, just compare these two trailers and the numbers here. Completely different. The opposites, in fact. So, new Little Mermaid. Snow White stars say their modern characters won't be defined by needing a man's love. You already know where this is going, okay? You already know that this isn't about actually creating the stories of Ariel and Snow White or anything like that. It's about an agenda. It's about a political ideology. Call it the Elsa effect, or maybe it's just progress. Now, this is the thing, is that Elsa is something that I could actually respect as a film, the Frozen films and everything else, because those are actual original stories. It's the same reason why a lot of people don't have a problem with things like Moana, or Encanto, or any of these other stories that Disney continues to put out with all these new princesses. The backlash isn't the same with those, because those are original stories that Disney's putting out. Those are new stories that they're putting out.
Oh, I get it. It's because you don't want the white stuff being touched or changed, because the other stuff, Moana and Kanto, what's her name, Tiana with the Princess and the Frog, that stuff, that's an original story, and it started off as a minority story, so that's okay. When you start touching the white people stuff and changing it, that's when grown men get on the internet and start rioting. That I get it. I get it now.
But they are afraid to do that with these live action stories for some reason. Like, why couldn't Disney just make a new story that could be still in the same universe as the Little Mermaid or something else with a black lead in it? And no one would bat an eye. I wouldn't bat an eye. Like, that's the thing, is that
you shouldn't be batting an eye right now. You shouldn't bat a single eye. You shouldn't be talking about this. You should literally be, bro. This is what I be thinking about. Like, imagine, like, your parents wanted you to go to school. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. Work here, work for dad, whatever. And you was like, you know what? I don't want to do a 9 to 5. I want to do YouTube. I want to make content. And your parents are like, I don't really understand it. They don't want you to do that. But then you start making money from it. You turn into a career. So you meet up with your parents. You call, check in. Hey, what's going on, Dad? Oh, nothing much. What's going on with the channel? What's the most recent video you did? And they're like, well, you know, the Little Mermaid. They casted her as a black girl. You know, mermaids can't be black, right? That's not true to the original story that we grew up on. And me as a 35-year-old man is angry about this. You know that, right? Like, imagine telling your parents this is what you talk about. Or like, imagine you meet a girl, you on a date or a guy, whatever you're into, and they're like, hey, so what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a content creator now. Oh, really? That's dope. What's your YouTube channel? You tell them your YouTube channel, they go on and they see you talking about the Little Mermaid casting. Bro, that's the last time. You will not get a text back. You'll never. She might go to the bathroom, sneak out the window, and you left with the check, bro. That's insane. Honestly, bro, I get what everyone is trying to say, but it's like, they can say, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to support it. None of this stuff, all these reboots, technically it is for the parents, but it's also for a new generation to come in and watch this stuff. Like, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to support it. If you want to say, oh, they're pushing their political agendas, it's like, people can do whatever they want. They own it. They can say whatever they want to say. Do they benefit from some of these things? Like, do black people and certain minorities like come out in droves to support this kind of stuff? Yeah, but I think representation is also important, and I think you can tell or retell or reimagine a story. It doesn't have to stay the same, and you can push, I don't want to call it an agenda, but you can push your views, since this is your IP, your story, and do what you want. Like, I don't know. I think too many people are pushing this out of proportion. It's not that serious. The movie might just be bad. I mean, you're talking about they're not focused on telling a good story. I mean, Aladdin was probably the only good live action. Mulan kept Asian people, and it wasn't good. So it has nothing to do with pushing an agenda. That, I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Is people just going crazy? Mental illness, as I said. And leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll catch you on the next video.